Hi and welcome to this YouTube channel. And in this video, we want to talk about, or want to give an update about our publishing journey that we have already touched in past episodes. And now we will give you the status quo of what we have done already and how our plan is for the next few months. So Simi, what is the status quo?
Well, our initial plan that we had in May, that we started in May, didn't work out the way it should have. So we are a bit backtracked with our original plan and we changed our plan. So what did we change?
Yeah, we had planned to publish a book each this year in the beginning of December, and we wanted to have our first drafts finished in July, I believe.
Yeah, in the end of July.
In July. And we, like both of us, have an idea each that we want to write about and that we are really excited about. And we just didn't finish our first draft until then because we just had different other things, and both our projects are quite complex. So it is quite difficult for us to move forward, and the plot is still changing and we still are incorporating different ideas. So we didn't manage to finish our first draft in time, and then we were contemplating if we still want to keep that deadline with finishing and publishing the book in December. And we decided that we want to give our projects more time because we have the feeling that they deserve that time and they need that time to take the full potential that we see in them. So we decided to change the timeline, and right now we want to have our first drafts finished in February, right?
Yes.
February.
End of February.
When do we want to publish, Simi?
So we want to publish this project we are on right now, or that was initially the plan for December. We want to publish it in October next year. So we have enough time to do revisions, to do editing, to actually put in the time it needs. And most likely it will be more than just one book. So it will become a series, for me at least. I think you are contemplating.
I'm contemplating it
around that right now, so probably it will become a series, so that we have also the time to structure the series and to make it coherent and working. So
yes, and our current way of doing that is with the first draft that we don't really plan ahead that much. Like, we both have different ideas that we want to incorporate, and we have the main plot in our heads, but with our writing we get more and more spontaneous, and also our characters get more and more alive, which means that sometimes they make their own decisions. We don't really plan ahead for them. We just wonder what would that character do in that situation, and then we get complete new plots and subplots into it. And our feeling is that we will need quite some time for reviewing and editing, because when you write so much spontaneously, then you will get, like, we will probably get scenes in that we later realize are not the right thing for us, or we have scenes in the beginning that don't really fit to the character's personality that evolved while writing. So probably we will have quite some work there to cut scenes out, write it in different orders, rewrite some scenes, maybe write scenes completely anew. And we incorporated that experience, that we realized we probably don't need that much time for our first draft. We just need the process and the routine to actually keep writing every day.
and it also makes sense for the rest of the series then to also work on that while doing the first draft.
Exactly. Like that we have enough time after having our first draft finished to think about how do we want to go on with the series, because what we don't want is that we have a great idea for a second or a third part in the series, and then we can't do it because it would contradict something we have written in our first book. So we want to lay out a few ideas between finishing the first draft and publishing it, because then we can make slight changes in the first book to have no problems with our later books then.
Yeah, and I think, or at least for me, that's the plan, that we then work on that finished draft and finishing that book, but also working on the second book, and or however long the series is going to be, but the rest of the series, and then that we can then publish the rest of the series in the years after that, or like in a good way, so it isn't too much time between the different parts.
Yeah, we don't want it, like, I personally don't read that much fiction, so I don't have that problem, but I know that Simi knows that, and if you read a lot of fiction, you probably know that as well.
Everybody knows that.
When you start a series and then you have to wait really long for the other parts, or maybe the author takes a break and it's not really clear when will they keep on writing with the next book, or will they even keep on writing, and we don't want to have that happen with our books. So we want to have a straight plan then to get our books out quite fast, to not have that long breaks and waiting times for our readers.
Yeah, and we also want to translate it into German, so we will figure out on the way how to make it feasible, so we can also translate it and then publish it in German, so our German readers can also read it. But we will figure that out and then come back, and you will figure out over time how we do it, and when we have new stuff there, we can just make another update and go for that. So what is happening with our December publishing goal, with the plan for this year?
Mhm.
So
Our first idea was to just put that deadline off and to, as we said, publish the book in October next year. But it created that inner conflict within us, because on the one hand, we know that if we stick to that deadline, we can't give our books everything that we want to give them, and they will probably not end up as good as they could be. And we are both really engaged with our ideas, so we don't really want to make it just half a thing. We want to give it everything it needs to become a really good book. So it was that conflict with, we know it doesn't work, but we don't want to take the easy way out. We want to challenge ourselves, and we want to stick with that deadline because it's a cool challenge, and we said we would do it, so we also wanted to do it. And then we decided, let's take those projects and put them off and publish them in October with enough
next
time.
year,
Yes,
in
thanks.
October. Otherwise, because October is still this year,
Yeah.
so just wanted to make sure
Thank you.
nothing goes confused there.
Yes. So we said we will put it off and do it next year. But we will think of a new project, like one project for each of us, that we will actually publish in December. And Simi already has an idea for that. You will write something that is connected to your main project that you will publish next year.
Yeah.
And I actually don't have any idea yet.
You will figure it out.
Yes, I will figure it out. I mean, I've already published a book together with you
Yes.
in August, because I wanted to participate at the Young Storyteller Award this
Wait
year.
a second there.
Okay,
You
Simi.
can just keep.
Simi will do something now, and I will just keep talking. Yeah, I really wanted to participate in that, and I thought of a cool non-fiction book that I wrote it in German because it was fitting more to the topic. It was about our school system, and although I think in most of the better developed countries, the school system is quite similar and has different problems. I wanted to write it in German because my experience with the school system is in Germany, so it made more sense to direct it to also that readership and that group of people that know the situation better that I'm in.
So, this is the book.
Yes, there you can see it. And Simi helped me a lot with generating ideas and with editing, and she created the cover, for example. She made that, so I'm really thankful for that. And we will drop a link in the description so you can check it out. If you understand German, then you will benefit more from it than if you don't. But you can
Otherwise,
look at
it
it.
just
So
looks beautiful on your shelf.
yeah. And for us, that was really interesting because I could generate some experience with writing nonfiction, which was really interesting because what I found the biggest difference is that with fiction, as we've already mentioned, we write really openly. Like we have the broad idea in mind, but then our characters do something else. And with fiction, I could stick to my plan, which was just a different process. And both processes are really interesting, but I like to gather experiences with both. And we also generated experience with cover design, for example, and with the whole process. Like, how does it look like? What do you need for that? And how can it look like to upload that and to design it? What do you have to take care of? And that was just a really nice experience. And it's a quite small project, so we didn't have to invest that much time into it. But I think we can greatly benefit from that in regard to our coming projects.
And also, the project for now for publishing in December, I think it will not be that big of a project for the both of us. It will most likely be in the length or in the sense of a novella, something like that. Because, yeah, we just want something easier than, I don't know, a whole length book. And yeah, so we will work on that. We will keep you updated there. And we will actually start working on it this week. So we get it going until December, because when you think about December, it's like in 3 months.
I think we have the 9th of December as publishing
Yes.
date. So today is the 10th as we recorded. So it's like yesterday in 3 months. So
Yay, we love challenges. So, yeah. What else what else is important for this now project?
I think to what you said, to put it into numbers, with our main projects for next year, our goal is 100,000 words for the first draft.
Yes.
And for our projects this year, we thought of more like 30, 40,000, something like that. So it's still a book. Like, it won't be a short story or something like that. We want to have a book, but as you said, it's like a novella. Or if I decide for a non-fiction book, then it's still a normal length for a smaller non-fiction book. So it's like this the count where the range starts for typical non-fiction books. So it's still a usual book, I would say, but it's a smaller sized one. So it will make it easier for us. And also with the process, we want to focus more on the planning and then writing it out with more structure, that we don't need that much time for editing afterwards. And so the process will be a bit different this time, but I think it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think it will also be a bit more engaging to watch, because we will actually have stuff on the wall and we will get going with stuff. It's not like this week we wrote. Here you can see us writing on our devices. So I think it will be a lot of fun to also do that. And we try to, just take you along on that journey there. And I'm sure it will be really fun. we will get into how to do it engaging and how to do that. But we will figure that out on the way.
Yeah. I think the next few weeks will be really interesting when we plan everything out. And with our main projects, on the other hand, probably the editing phase will be the most interesting, because there we have to figure out how to make sense of everything we wrote into that first draft.
Yeah.
So that will be it will get messy and it will be challenging, but I think it will also be really interesting, both for us and for everyone who follows along. And yeah, for the projects now, I think in the next few weeks, you will hear a lot from us, and also something, people can benefit from if they want to write their own books.
Yes. And also when we've published it then, what happens then? I have no idea. To be honest, we will figure it out. So this will be challenging and it will be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we can also update a bit on the sales and marketing stuff, because for the nonfiction book that we've published in August, like my author's copy is still coming. I don't have it yet, so it will probably in the beginning of next week it will arrive. So right now it's a bit a transition phase. I'm already published, but the book is
It's not yet
there. It's not really there yet. And I think once I have it, it will be really interesting, because I can show it around and I can show it to people and I can advertise it a little bit. So it will be really interesting to see how that works with the sales and how I can show it people without being too much on the nose with that, because I don't want to annoy people with my book. But of course I want to, tell them
you want to, yes.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that will be really interesting, and also something that we will share here on the channel and also with our podcast.
And on our other social media. So
yeah.
I also want to be more on Insta again. But I find this format of Insta really confusing. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel really confused about it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't used Insta for 6 years now or something like that, 5 years. So for me, it also wasn't that beneficial, and I haven't tried it out yet as content creator. But I think it's not really mine either.
Yeah, it's more like, for me, it's more like the long version of stuff. When I want to talk about something, I want to talk about something. And then I sit down and talk. And it takes as long as it takes.
Yeah.
But like this short content is just... So we will figure out how to make the transition, that we also make it possible there to engage with you guys, and also to engage with a reader community and stuff like that, because I think it's really interesting and it can be cool, but when you haven't yet gotten the hang of it, it can be frustrating, because then you're just, what am I doing here? What is beneficial? Is it real? A normal post? Stories? How do I do that? It's really confusing. So that's also a project. We will get a hang of it at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, we will. We will. So yeah, that's our update for our publishing journey. Apart from that, you can see from time to time what we read here, because we're still reading. Though we didn't read that much this year yet, because we had a lot of other stuff going on. And so you will also from time to time hear what we read. And yeah, but I think mainly it will be our publishing journey here.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward. And some vlogs when we went somewhere.
Yeah, that we will also do.
Yeah, because I think these are fun. And I like editing them, though it takes a lot of time sometimes. Besides the point. So yeah, we will see you around, either on Insta, our blog, or on podcast, or here again. So until then, have a lovely time, and we will see you around in the next video. or anywhere else in the internet. And yeah, we put some links down there to find us and other stuff and to find his book. Spoiler, it's good. So until then, bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye. See you.